without more ado, I'd like to introduce Wind Over Wings and Hope Douglas, who's the director.
Thank you. Wind Over Wings is an organization I founded 21 years ago in Clinton, Connecticut, and our goal is to release injured birds back to the skies whenever possible. Not always possible. The birds we brought you today are with us as teachers. They can't go back into the wild because they can't survive. You can hear that, right?
Yeah.
This is an owl feather. Wanted to introduce our handlers, bird handlers. Heather is here, and Tammy. My name's Hope Douglas. Thank you. Little Eastern screech owl by the name of sassafras. Now we name these birds, but we don't consider them pets. We don't pet them. They live in outdoor, especially designed aviaries or cages. If they can't fly, we have handicapped ramps for them.
I tell Sassafras' story is that her mother found the perfect place to, have her nest and protect her children in a chimney. It was dark, very quiet, safe from predators. And so Sassafras' story is that a doctor was starting his fireplace. He was about to light the fireplace. And he heard something scuffle in the chimney, and he quickly extinguished the fire. It's okay, baby. And called Wind Over Wings, and our rescuer went over and dismantled the damper, and out fell little baby, newborn almost Sassafras. Unfortunately, she had hit her head very hard, so she has some damage where she can't really constrict and dilate her eyes well enough for hunting, night hunting. So she's with us here at Wind Over Wings. She's what they call rufous, red phase. They also come in a gray phase. You can see here she has little tufts. These are not ears. Her ears are actually on the side of her face, those little, around those black lines. And those are her ears. She also obviously has a little beak. That's her knife and fork. They catch the food with their talons. And if they don't swallow the mouse whole, they tear it up. And she's very well fed at Wind Over Wings. She gets 2 mice every day, so she doesn't have to go and search for her food. She can fly. She's not a baby. She's 4 years old. She's not going to get any bigger than this.
Almost.
Yes, a lot of 4-year-olds. She's very curious. She's watching all of you.
Her name is Saber, and she's 20 years old. Anybody here 20? They are named after the rusty-colored red-tailed bird, and that's what was flying way up high in the sky. Saber is with us because she is a retired falconry bird. Falconry is a sport that actually it was not a sport when it started, it was a means of putting food on the table. It started presumably in China 4,000 years ago. One would develop a relationship with a bird and then train it to come back to a glove for food. So we could take a walk in a field, send the bird off to catch a pheasant or a squirrel, and then put food on the table. As it developed over the years, it's legal in the state of Connecticut. Red-tailed hawks are legal to have with permits. And it's more of a sport now, where you can fly the bird way up high and it will come back for food. It's trained by food. This bird was part of a falconry program for 18 years with a master falconer. So if we were back 18 years ago when she was here, she could fly the skies and come back on command, and she would be rewarded with food for that. They're here all year round. They're very adaptable. There are a number of things that they will eat in the wild. Rodents primarily. They hang out over highways. They know that cars hit squirrels. It's Wheels on Wheels, I think. And they'll eat chipmunks or rabbit, birds or snakes, so that they're always looking for something, and they can stay here year-round because of that ability. They live in the Alaska tundra, in the desert, in the woods, in the plains, in New York City. If you have a chance to see Pale Male, the video, superb.
As Hope mentioned, this bird was born in Hartford. She was found badly injured in a park near the old Travelers building in Hartford. And the man that found her, luckily for her, knew how to pick up birds of prey. Now, if you ever see an injured hawk or owl or falcon on the ground, don't rush up and pick it up. They do not know you're trying to help it, and they will attack you. They attack with their feet, those talons. You want to do this? What? Oh, okay, well. And the man that found it knew how to pick up a bird of prey. He had the right equipment. He had heavy gloves. He picked her up, took her to his vet, who did his best to correct the badly impacted right wing. It was badly shattered, probably hit by a car. She was a youngster. She was in her first year and probably learning how to dive after prey. These birds are avian hunters. That means they eat other birds. They don't come to ground to pick up rodents and things like that. They hunt other birds. And what they do is fly up a couple thousand feet, and in cities especially, maybe spot a nice, fat, juicy pigeon, put their head down, their wings back, and dive with the help of gravity at over 200 miles per hour. And she was doing that and probably got too close to the road and was hit by a car. The wing never did heal properly, so she can't even fly anymore, which is very unfortunate because she hunts on the wing. Now these birds have evolved into the supermen of birds of prey. They have different features from all other birds of prey. Their feather structure is different, their eyesight is different, their bone structure is different. When you think about the little owl and when you see the great horned owl come out, their feathers are very light and fluffy for silent flight. Hawks, like the red-tailed hawk, they have loose feathering. That's for the soaring that they can do. Eagles are the same way. Turkey vultures are the same way. Peregrine falcons have a special type of feather that hold all the other feathers tightly against her body. She doesn't look particularly fluffy, does she? Her head looks like suede. Those are thousands of feathers there, but they're holding all the other types of feathers tightly against her body to cut down on drag. If she had loose feathers like hawks or eagles, she wouldn't be able to fly. Her cruising speed is about 80 to 90 miles an hour. Just kind of out for a little flight. And one of them has been clocked diving in its stoop at 254 miles per hour. It was a trained falcon that was trained to dive with a skydiver. So.
Oh, wow.
I mentioned their eyesight being different. We see colors. See, our vision is three-dimensional color. Red, blue, and green. Peregrine falcons see in four-dimensional color. I'm not sure what the fourth color is. It might be ultravioletly. But we have rods and cones in our eyes. The cones are for color vision. The rods are for light and dark contrast. People have about 30,000 cones in their eyes. Peregrine falcons have close to 1 million cones in their eyes. They're absolutely amazing. They have no feathers on their feet that would cause drag. They have no feathers around their eyes or around their beak. That would slow them up in flight also. When they're diving at 200 miles an hour and they slam into their prey in midair, they reach out and grab it and carry it off. They pull up vertically. Fighter pilots in jet planes do the same thing. They dive down in their jet planes, they pull up vertically, and they pull G forces. Humans can pull maybe 6 to 9 Gs because before they are unconscious because the blood drains from their brain under the pressure. Peregrine falcons have been measured diving, pulling over 25 Gs. And at that load, a 1.5-pound falcon like this would weigh over 60 pounds. Puts tremendous pressure on the bone structure because bones in birds are almost hollow for flight. If they had solid bones like we do, they'd never get off the ground. So, weighing 60 pounds pulling up vertically puts tremendous pressure on the bone structure. But peregrine falcons have several of their bones fused or stuck together for added strength. They have extra bones at the base of their tail to give the muscles more surface to attach to, so they can maneuver when they're diving at such high speeds. They have evolved into just absolutely tremendous creatures. Falcons have little plugs in their nostrils that break up the air current so they can remain conscious when they're diving at over 200 miles an hour.